access this. We're just so that you know we are recording this. Since we are going to be recording, why don't we just go back and start over so that the recording will be correct. So we're just going to go back to the previous slides right now. And again, my name is Emma Smith.
My name is Mary Kolb.
Welcome to the Montgomery County Board of Election Consolidated Precinct Polling Place Training. As you know, a consolidated precinct means that you have two precincts or polling place housed in the same area. You'll be using the same staff, location, and equipment, but the difference is that there will be different ballots for each precinct that you check a voter in. There will be a few separate reports that you have to do. There will be a different closing process on the scanning unit that you will have to do. All of this is covered in your poll books. Again, the election judge procedure is that we will go through all your election judges have been trained on how to check in voters, whether it's at a consolidated polling place or precinct or just a regular precinct. But the procedure for checking in your voters will be the same. And that's all been documented. Today's training, we'll do a check-in area. We'll do the ballot issuing table, how to set up the two different ballot tables. We'll do the ballot marking device. We also will do the closing on the scanning unit. We will also do counting voter authority cards. And we will also talk about the provisional table and the completion of the forms that go with the consolidated precinct.
So when it comes to check-in, all of your judges have been given the information on how to check in a voter when they come in, the information they need to ask, and how to get the voter authority card into the voter's hands. So this is something that when going through that training, we have asked and made sure that they know on the voter authority cards that it's crucial to have them circle the district and precinct and the ballot style. This does help, especially in your consolidated precincts, to set up not only your voter, but the rest of your judges for success in making sure that the proper ballots are selected when given to a voter. Because you have multiple precincts in the same brick and mortar polling place, there are going to be different places that your voter will go to a ballot table. There will be one for each district and precinct. And it's also important that this information is circled on the voter authority card when it comes to using the ballot marking device as well.
Also, it's going to be important if that voter happens to spoil that ballot, that you make sure that they go back to the correct table so that they are issued the correct ballot. So it's going to be crucial for the judges that are working at the ballot table that they make sure that they issue the correct ballot to the voter and make sure that the voter comes back to the correct table to spoil that ballot so that they will get the right ballot.
So one of the differences that you'll see in a consolidated precinct versus just your one precinct polling place is that you do have to do the unofficial turnout reports for 11 and 4. The only difference is that because you have a consolidated polling place, yours are not able to be printed from the poll book itself. This is something that you will have to follow the instructions. Now, the document that you do see on the screen is going to be the instruction sheet that you get for election day. And it's going to tell you how to navigate to finding the voter counts so that they can be accounted for and written down. What you will have is going to be a separate sheet for 11 a.m. and a separate sheet for 4 p.m. So what you'll note here is that you do actually have to handwrite the district and precinct. So each district and precinct you have will have their own line. You're going to go through on the screen that you saw from the poll book, write down the total number of voter counts that there are, and then you'll also write by party. So this is what you're going to be filling out and having posted as the unofficial reports, as opposed to printing something from the poll book itself. This is something that we will show you how to get to that screen. So we do provide the instructions and you will have those on election day. But as we get towards the end of our PowerPoint presentation here, we'll actually show you on the poll book navigating to that report. So when you see on the screen, you see where it says the precinct. So this has two different precincts within this polling place, 0101 and 1206. So you see that it does break down versus the totals for each polling place themselves and then by party. The one thing that you should note is that third line down that you see on what looks like the poll book screen. That's your consolidation. So that's showing that in the entire polling place, if you have 17 people from one precinct, 13 from the other, that consolidated total number should match there.
Ballot issuing tables. This is very important when you set up your ballot issuing tables. You're going to be sharing the same ballot envelopes, and there's going to be one spoiled ballot tally sheet. But the difference is that you will set up two different tables. As I stated before, it's important that if a voter does spoil his ballot, that they come back to the correct table to make sure that they get the correct ballot to show that they are selecting the correct candidates. So it's important when your judges, when the person comes back to your judges, that they look at that voter authority card and confirm that the voter is at the correct table to cancel out that ballot, and then the correct ballot is issued to them. Okay, and then they will go to the scanning unit and cast their vote. The ballot marking device, the judge will use the voter's voter authority card when they come over. They've been trained on how to do this. It's important that they use the information that is circled as far as what the precincts are. You'll have two different precincts that will print on on a voter's authority card, one for precinct 001-001, if that's the precinct, one for precinct 00012-006, that's a different precinct. But when that voter comes over, if it is circled, that's the information that needs to go into the ballot marking device. And your judges have been trained on how to read this voter authority card. Again, they also have been trained on how to explain how to use the ballot marking device. Okay, when we get to the scanning unit, there's no change. They'll go over and will cast their vote. They will enter their VAC or their paper ballot into the scanning unit, and their vote will be cast. But at closing, that's where your information is going to be different when you close out your scanning unit.
So when it comes to closing the scanning unit at the end of the night, when you were in training, you went through and you saw that the scanning unit itself automatically prints two reports, one that goes into your red bag, one that goes into your black bag, and that you have to manually go in and print a third report. The other thing that you're going to have to do, because you are in a consolidated precinct, is produce two additional reports. So you will have 5 reports in total. The 2 additional reports that you're going to produce are going to be broken down on the precinct level. So instead of the information that the first 3 reports show, which is just what your polling place has done, so what has been done in the building that day, the additional reports are going to show which each precinct does. So we are using the examples of 0101 and 1206. So you will go through and print a report for 0101 showing the voters and what that report looks like, and the same for 1206. Now we do have on our screen here where it shows that of the steps that you have, so if you have your chief judge books from training, the instructions that we give you there are pretty much the same. There is between steps 23 and 25, step 24 is what gets broken down. So this is where it tells you how to go through and print the individual reports for not only the ones that you need to print with the one that gets posted, that third report, but also printing the additional reports by precinct level. So what we have here on our screen does show what the scanning unit looks like and where these reports come from. The instructions that you typically follow would be a report level for polling place, and that is going to be your third report that gets posted. When you go back in to produce the additional 2 reports, instead of having it read polling place in that report level box, you will have it read precinct, and then this will be a detailed report. So these instructions you should have in your chief's workbook will also be provided to you. And again, this is something that as we get towards the end of this, we will actually go through, show you the screen on the scanning unit and how to get to closing the scanning unit and to this step. When it comes to additional things with the scanning unit that are different, counting the voter authority cards, this is something that you're going to want to make sure that are separated by precinct. So they are still going to get counted at your discretion throughout the day into the stacks of 25, separated by party because it is a primary. But each precinct is going to have its own box for those voter authority cards. So if you do have voter authority cards from 0101, they will be counted into their own baggies that we showed you and go into a separate box for the voter authority cards than the ones for 1206. So we do want to make sure that those are kept separate since the totals for those at the end of the night is going to be information that you need to complete your closing summary report.
Your provisional and mail-in ballot information, you've all been trained on this. They will all come in the orange bag. From the orange bag, you will take out this information and set it throughout the precinct. You will set up your provisional area. You will give your yellow bag either to someone or it goes to the chief. The chief will hold the yellow bag and she will keep a tally of all the voters that come in and want to cast their votes and place their votes in the yellow bag. Again, you all have been trained on all of this and you have received information about this. So this shouldn't be anything that you don't know about. You've already been trained. This is the report Mary was telling you about. This is going to be your summary report that you complete at the end of the day. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to show you where you would get this information. Like you would get the ballot count, the ballots for provisional that would count. You would get that from your provisional certificate, closing certificate information from your provisional judge. Anything that has been spoiled, you would get the spoiled tally sheet from your ballot table. The provisional spoiled ballot, that still would come from your ballot table. Your VAT count, you would get that from the scanning unit, and that information you would complete on this tally sheet. And you would break it out by district and precinct. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go through the steps and show you how to get the consolidated precinct detailed information that goes on these reports. So we're going to bear with us for just 1 second while we set up to get this to show you.
Right. So we are going to go on just a little bit of a field trip here towards our poll book, just so that we can go over how to get to that screen of the counts that you need.
Can everyone see the screen?
I hope so. So from your manage poll screen, when you're going to get the numbers for the unofficial turnout report, you are going to click on status, and then you're going to click on voter counts. So again, from manage polls, which is the screen that you'll see when the poll book is opened, it's status, which is the tab to the far right, and then voter counts, which is the second row of tabs to the far right. And you see that it does break down. You have 0101, 1206, and then the consolidated. So this is the screen that you saw in our screenshots earlier, but it does show you through the parties, the breakdown, and you would take this information and make sure that it was transposed onto
presentation
onto the report. Are you done with the presentation?
Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to remove the presentation so that you all can see more clearly.
All right. Can you all see it now? We apologize. We're going to go over it again.
All right. So just to go over one more time how we get to the voter count screen here. So If you are on the search voter roster screen that your judges are on all day, just to give you that clear instruction, this is where your election judges are when they're checking in voters. So you would tap return to main. And then if you're coming from this screen, either way, you go over to status and voter counts, and that's where you get the breakdown for the 11 and 4 unofficial turnout reports. All right. So the other thing that we're going to go through and show is going to be the instructions for closing down the scanning unit. So this is going to be just one additional field trip that we take you on. All right. 1 second here. All right. So bear with us just a second here.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
All right. So when it comes time to shut down the scanning units, we're going to go ahead and you would hit your closed polls. And then you would tap your close poll button.
Right now, the scanners are set up for early voting, so we're just going to show you once the report starts what happens. Okay.
So now when you close your polls, as it mentioned, there are 2 reports that do print. So these are the ones that print automatically. And then you would go through and produce that 3rd report still on the polling place level for it to be posted as your 3rd report out on the doors. And then is when you would go through and print those 2 additionals following the instructions that we showed and will provide. Just give us 1 second here and we'll walk you through that as well.
Okay, this is going to take us a few minutes, so we're just going to sit here and watch it print out for us. And these instructions are in your chief guide as for closing the scanning unit. So you will see that. Also, these consolidated procedures will be shared with you. I think they're also going to be posted on EJ Connect. So they will be there for you to look at the procedures for Consolidated Precinct. So we won't leave you out there on a limb. So this information will be available for you to review at your leisure and read through.
All right. So since it's automatically printing the reports, in an interest of time, I'm just going to go ahead and cancel the printing here. So you go to your report options. You would follow through and print that third report that we all have confidence that you have the instructions on, you've printed in training, we know you can do. So what we're going to show here is just what you would do in your consolidated precincts. So in your report type box, it's always going to be voting results. That's what actually unlocks the ability to use your report level and report format box. In your report level, instead of polling place, which has always been selected and you've just left it alone, you will do a precinct report, and it is going to be a detailed report out of your report format. Once you do that, you will then leave miscellaneous alone and go ahead and print report. Now, because these are set for early voting, which I know Miss Emma did indicate, it is going to take a little bit just for this report itself to print. When it does, I do want to show you the differentiation so that you can see on the report itself the breakdown between where one precinct on the report starts and another one would start after it, since they are going to print back to back on that report. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop this here. So when looking at this report, it is going to print your first district and precinct first. So what you'll see here is you have the information that comes out, and then it is going to list your district and precinct. To know that the second district and precinct is printing, you will have the rows of asterisks. And then following the rows of asterisks, it will have the next district and precinct listed. So that shows you that you are doing both district and precinct on the same report. Now, the fourth report that you print does get signed and goes into the red memory stick security bag. You would go through this process again, printing a fifth report, and that goes into the black memory stick security bag after being signed.
Open it up to questions.
I believe so.
So we're going to take a little trip again, and we're going to move you back over to our table. And by moving you back over to the table, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and we will try our best to answer, or raise your hand, and we will try our best to answer your questions. Thank you. Was a lot of traffic out there to get back to you. We apologize, but everybody's getting off or going to have dinner, but we're back. All righty, so did anybody have any questions? Raise your hand.
Okay, if you have a question, I'm promoting you to a panelist. You have to accept it for you to be able to talk and answer your question.
Hi.
Hi.
I just had perhaps it's going to sound like a dumb question, but can you ever be in a consolidated district that has a polling place that has more than two districts?
So there is a possibility that there is a consolidated precinct that has more than two district or precincts.
Okay.
I
I mean, but the procedures are identical.
Yes.
I mean,
so you'll
in that
follow-
fourth report, it's going to show 3 precincts rather than 2 or whatever it is. Okay.
Correct.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
This is Jana Ross. I think the most we have is maybe 4. I know we definitely
Okay.
have 3s. It might be 1 4.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Debbie, you have to unmute yourself.
Sorry, in a car. Are there signs that we need to put out on each ballot table labeling each precinct so that people know which table to walk up to? Does that come with it, or do we need to make those precinct signs?
Janet?
Normally, our operations team, they pack different color tablecloths for the 3 different tables. Like if you have a 3 consolidated precinct, 3 different districts, you might get a purple tablecloth, you get a white one, and maybe a yellow one, I think. There's 3 different colors to indicate that these are the 3 different precincts.
So would you recommend we make precinct numbers so that the check-in judges knows which table to send them to?
I would highly recommend it.
I
Yeah.
like that idea. Okay, thank you.
And also, if it's like a small precinct, we do have some consolidated precincts that only have like 15 voters. When it's only that, we recommend the chief judges hold those ballots and make them come to you to get them.
Okay,
And
thank
just go to the regular table for the larger precincts. It's
Thank
the
you.
real small ones, and we can tell you which ones they are.
Okay, if we don't have any more questions, we thank you for
No,
taking.
Emma, I'm promoting. It takes a minute.
Oh,
Y'all
okay.
got about 6 more hands up.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you when they're done.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Jay.
Hi, good evening. My question is about the report, not just the reporting that you spoke about, but all the reporting that we do during the day from seals and other things like that. Are there 2 separate sets of reports for consolidated precincts, or will it all still be just put note both precincts on all the paperwork? For like, let's say the ballot marking devices or the seals, or at the end of the day, the scanning unit when you break seals or you put new seals on and things like that.
So all of your equipment that you're using throughout the day, speaking to seals, tamper tapes, what you talked about, the ballot marking devices and the scanning unit, you get the same equipment. Either precinct can use that equipment. So you're not going to have a breakdown of these seals were from indicated to this district and precinct, these are to this. When it comes to the reports themselves, like the physical paper reports. If there's anything that does need to be broken down by precinct, it is something where it does designate the district and precinct should be written on there. But speaking to your equipment, that you wouldn't run into having to separate those by precinct.
Okay, thank you very much.
I have a question. I'm the chief judge of two precincts, 9 and 10. And who collects? I mean, I have another co-judge. Who will collect the voting materials on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? Who is the responsible? Should we share the responsibility, or any one of them can pick it up?
So I just want to clarify, you're asking about your chief judge, your bags, your materials for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Who will be the responsible? In the list, I saw two of them: me, myself, and Miss Flagger as two chiefs. So who will be the responsible to get the bags on the material?
Okay, I'm going to promote one of the recruiters. Debbie or Aisha, raise your hand. Which one are you going to talk? Because I'm going to promote you so that they can answer your question. Aisha, unmute. You're still muted.
Hello.
Right.
Hi. So yes, on bag pickup, which is June 20th,
Mm-hmm.
one chief judge is going to be required to pick up the bags.
Okay.
And then so we will be mailing the pickup card placards tomorrow. So you should get that in the mail. We do mail one card to each judge, and then you guys together will figure out which one of you is going to pick up the bags, but only
Okay.
one chief judge will need to do that.
So it is upon us to understand to who will decide. Okay, that
That
was
is
my question. Mhm.
that.
Yes,
Yes,
thank
please work together.
you. And one last question. So I have the list of my whole polling state. As a chief judge, should we communicate among the team early so that, okay, hi, this is me, this is who. So I think they have the same thing, the list I got, all the polling personnel has the same list, right? They know who is who and what is
So
the number.
yeah, so the chief judges will have the contact list for the
Mhm.
judges assigned to your polling place, but the judges themselves do not have each other's contact information.
Okay.
So you guys together, you can either split the list and call them to introduce
Okay.
yourself or send an
Mhm.
email with everybody on it. Just to, yes, let them know and ensure that they do have your cell phone number in case you needed to call or something was to change. And I also ask that if one of the judges shares with you a change to their schedule that they may not have communicated to the recruiters, if you could let us know so we can try to assign someone else to
Okay.
fill that staffing.
Okay. I got my message. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, this is Debbie Kulik. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Miss
Yes.
Oh,
Debbie.
good. Okay. When will we know what work, who our precinct is consolidated with? Because when I looked online, it didn't say that getting the email about this meeting was the first I had heard that I was a chief for a consolidated precinct. So I'm just wondering, is there a master list somewhere that we can tap into to see who we're with, or if we're really in a consolidated precinct? I just was trying to get a feel for that.
You should, this is Janet. If you sign into EJ Connection, you should see your assignment at the bottom. At the top, it says Chief Judge Roster List, and it lists your co-chief and all your people in your precinct.
Mhm. I saw
And at the
that.
top, it lists your precinct and it
Right.
should get, yes,
So it would say at the top that there were two precincts in the same location.
it should.
Okay,
I'm
I'll
not
take a,
guaranteeing you that it does, but it should.
okay, I'll take a look after the call
Okay.
and reach out tomorrow if I have any
If
questions.
it doesn't, let me know because I got to get it fixed. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and you're Joyce, he said.
Janet.
Janet,
Reach out
thank
to the
you.
recruiters. They'll let me know. Just call
Okay.
your recruiter. Okay.
Okay, yep, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Hi. Well, this isn't what my question was, but Janet, I will let you know that it does not say that it is consolidated because I'm at Twin Brook and has always been consolidated, but it only has one precinct listed today.
Okay. So I'll look at that tomorrow.
Okay. And my original question was, we do have a small number generally of voters in our second district. I don't think it's enough for the chief to hold them, but do we have to have an entire second table for those voters? Can it be a side of the table with a different colored tablecloth, or does it have to be a second one? And if so, can the same person man both tables?
If you're confident that they can handle it, you can have the same person do it. You don't
Okay.
have to have them at separate tables.
Okay, yeah, that's what we have typically done, and it hasn't been a problem, but I'm wondering if there was something different that came up this year. So thank you.
Mhm.
Hello. Yeah, I probably have the same dumb question that you were just talking about, and that was that I'm looking at again at my list of roster. As was previously said, mine shows one precinct. My question is, am I assuming that our roster is the same for the entire consolidated group? In other words, there's not two rosters. So I should be looking at just this one roster as far as contacting the various members of the group.
Aisha, you want to take that one?
Sure. Yes, it's going to be one roster for that polling location.
One per polling location.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
that's what I thought. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peter, if you're talking, you're muted.
Okay. There. All right. Thank you for this briefing. I have two questions. My first question is, you said we would do 5 reports from the scanning unit. I understand the first 3. One is the red binder, one is the black binder, and one is to mount publicly. What is the 4th and the 5th one for?
I'm sorry, I had to get somebody back online. What was your question?
Okay, I repeat my question. You said we have to print 5 reports from the scanning unit at the end of the day. We used to do 3. One was for the red folder, one was for the black folder, and the third one was to post outside for the public to view. My question is, what is the 4th and the 5th one for?
So the fourth and the fifth report are going to be broken down by precinct instead of by your polling place. So the two reports that print automatically and the third report that you generate just show what has happened across everything in the polling place that day. The fourth report and the fifth report are broken down by precinct specific information. And so that's why you would generate one for the red bag and one for the black bag after that third report for the polling place is generated.
Thank you. My second question is, where online can we find, or when will you mail to us our precinct information, such as the contact phone number, who the janitors are, the principal is, so we can communicate with them and view the precinct in advance of the election?
This is Janet. I'm sitting here working on that stuff right now. It'll be up hopefully tomorrow. Okay. It was a new system. We had to get a new report developed, so I'm working on validating it and getting it up.
And by up,
Posted.
you mean
Posted,
on
it's
election
posted on the
judge?
website. No,
On the
yeah, it's
web.
posted on EJ Connection. You know, we go in, it says the training materials is on that page.
Okay.
That's where your facilities report, that's the report you're looking for, and your schematic will be on that
Thank you.
page. Mhm.
Thank you.
Gilbert, are you talking? You muted? Gilbert, you're muted. Gilbert, you're muted. There you go. Gilbert, we're still not hearing you. Call my cell phone. I'm gonna move on to the next person. I'm gonna call Gilbert. No, he's calling me now. Hold on. Gilbert, we couldn't hear you at all.
Okay, my question is, my computer's been glitching, and so I want to know if you,
I'm listening.
I want to know if the those well, if everything's going to be available online for me to download.
Yes. We're gonna put this presentation up tomorrow, hopefully.
Oh, okay, great. So
Log into EJ Connection and it'll be out there. Okay?
okay,
All right.
okay. And,
Hopefully the video and the actual presentation will be up.
okay. Hey,
All right.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm back. I wanted to let you all ask a question. Are the rosters for the precincts now set? Because I see there's some changes from the last time I had looked. My precinct lost a closer, and right now we only have one person. Are these pretty much? Can we start reaching out to the team this week, or should we wait?
I'll answer if Deb's not on the call. So the rosters are not completely set. We are still training and staffing. So we have training this week, we have training next week. So those rosters will change. I do ask that you just kind of check back frequently to see, but you can certainly start contacting your team now. But yes, we're still training for Election Day.
Okay, which means if we know people who want to be a judge, it's not too late then.
It's not too late. We do ask that they act quickly, please. But yes, it's not too late. And then we are looking for the roles that we really need. So just to make sure we have a full complement of judges on Election Day.
And then the other thing is, as I'm looking at the precinct list, I don't see anything showing that it's a consolidated precinct. So I'm just kind of following up on that, and perhaps I'm looking in the wrong place, but it just doesn't say anything. It just has the name of the one precinct on there.
Sure. I will say that your placard, I'm sorry if I cut somebody off. Your placard will have the consolidated precinct numbers on it for chief pickup, and then the materials that you get in your chief bags should have everything related to being consolidated precincts.
Okay.
Yeah, it is one name, but it should show multiple precinct numbers. And it's not. I know the other person that Twinbrook told me, I know because she has like 3 or 4 precincts together down there. So she said it's not showing that. So I'll look into that tomorrow.
Okay.
May I say something to Debbie Kulik and whoever else is on there? We have a roster that right now you're not supposed to be seeing the people that are.
Debbie, let me interrupt you. They just put the fix in. It's fixed. I just got a message from the programmer. He just deployed it. It's fixed.
Okay, never mind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. That was the end of my questions. Thank you all.
Okay, I'm checking to see. I think it's one more hand up right now.
Susan Baker. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay. Okay, first off, I have had trouble with the EJ connection site. There'd be times I'd go to log in, I type in my password, and it would take me. Or I'd log in, type in my password, and it wouldn't take me. So I've had some issues with that. But I do not see on my EJ connection where it is that I'm serving for the early voting. I do have my election day precinct, so that's fine. And I've reached out so far to one of my co-chiefs. I also wanted to thank Peter for his questions because those were other questions that I had. So anyway, I just need to know where I'm to be on Wednesday.
What is your name again?
Last name Baker, first name Susan.
Hey, Susan, it's Janet.
There. Good to see you.
Churchill.
Susan.
Awesome.
It's Aisha. Yep. So I will have Maria contact you tomorrow regarding your early voting assignments.
That's great. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And that's all the questions that I had. If I have anything else, I'll pop you an email. Thank you.
Okay, that's the last of the questions. There's no more hands raised. Are y'all sure you're done?
I'm done.
Yes, again, from the training staff here at the Board of Elections, we appreciate you giving up your evening to spend time with us. If you have any more questions for the trainers, please feed them through your recruiters and we will get answers for you. But for the most part, everything that we share will be on the website. This is Emma Smith and
Mary Kolb.
signing off from the Board of Election. Enjoy your evening. Oh, we forgot, Suzanne's here. Suzanne's going to sign off too.
Signing off. Thank you all for joining.
Have a great evening. Bye.
Bye.
Great. Exit, I think.